Have you ever had that feeling, that unshakable sense that you're being watched? I have, and it all started in the most ordinary place you could imagine, a coffee shop. It was my morning ritual, same order, same time, every single day. And that's where I first noticed her. She was always there, tucked away in the same corner table, a silent fixture in my daily routine. At first, I didn't think much of it. It's a coffee shop, people have routines, right? I brushed it off as a simple coincidence, but then things started to get strange. One morning, I was running late. My alarm didn't go off. I spilled coffee on my shirt, just one of those days. As I rushed into the cafe, flustered and out of breath, she looked up from her book. A small, knowing smile played on her lips. Rough morning? She asked, her voice calm and even. I was taken aback. How could she possibly know? I mumbled something about my alarm, and she just gestured to the watch on her wrist. You're usually 5 minutes earlier, she said, as if it was the most normal observation in the world. That was the turning point. After that day, our brief, one-sided interactions became a regular thing. But she wasn't just commenting on my timing anymore. She seemed to know things I'd never told a soul. She'd make casual remarks about my life, things that were impossible for a stranger to know. Skipping lunch again? She'd comment lightly as I rushed out with just a coffee. Enjoy your day off tomorrow, she'd say, even when I hadn't mentioned it to anyone at work. It was like she had a window into my mind, my schedule, my life. I started to feel a knot of dread tighten in my stomach every time I approached that coffee shop. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe she overheard me on the phone. Maybe she was just exceptionally observant. But the explanations were wearing thin. The unease was growing into genuine fear. I started changing my routine, hoping to shake her. I'd go to a different cafe, take a different route to work. I felt like I was constantly looking over my shoulder. The simple pleasure of my morning coffee was gone, replaced by a chilling anxiety. I thought that by avoiding her, I could make it all stop. But it was already too late. The final straw, the moment that shattered any remaining illusion of coincidence, was the most terrifying of all. I had been having a really tough time at work. I was stressed, unfulfilled, and had been secretly polishing my resume, dreaming of a fresh start. I hadn't told anyone. Not my family, not my friends, not a single person. One afternoon, as I was leaving the cafe, determined to make it my last visit, she caught my eye. Her gaze was intense. You're thinking of changing jobs, she said. It wasn't a question. It was a statement. The blood drained from my face. How? How could she possibly know that? That was it. I was done. I never went back to that coffee shop again. I completely altered my routine. I was paranoid, checking every reflection, every shadow. For a week, there was nothing. A blissful, silent week. I started to breathe again. I told myself it was over, that I had imagined the whole thing, that I was just being paranoid. I convinced myself I was safe. Then one evening, I was looking out my apartment window, watching the city lights flicker on. My gaze drifted down to the street below, and there she was, sitting on a bench directly across from my building. She looked up as if she knew I was watching, and that same chilling smile spread across her face. She raised her wrist, and I saw it, the same watch. I realized then, with a terrifying certainty, that she hadn't just been at the coffee shop. She had been everywhere, and she wasn't just watching my routine. She was watching me.